Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to do reading stages and strategies. So I'm going to cover first of all the stages. That is, there are 3 stages, and in some of the books you will find 4 stages. So first is pre-reading, second is during reading or while reading, and third is post-reading. And sometimes in some books you will find follow-up reading as well. ठीक है, अब ये क्या है? We'll discuss it in detail. And if we talk about the reading strategies, then reading strategies include previewing, predicting, QAR, inferencing, visualizing, and paraphrasing. Okay, so let's talk about the pre-reading strategy first. Basically, pre-reading, as the name suggests, is before reading. Pre means before. Okay? So before reading, what are the strategies that you should follow? You have to do is, for number one, allow students, because you are the students of B.Ed. That's why I'm explaining in the way of a teacher. Okay, as if you will be doing that. Allow students to think about what they already know about a given topic and predict what they will read or hear. Okay, so basically in pre-reading stage, students are supposed to think about that particular topic. So the activities that are designed should be in such a way that the students will start thinking about that particular topic and will predict about it. सोचते रहेंगे, उनके माइंड में ये आइडियाज आएंगे कि भाई क्या इस टॉपिक में हो सकता है, या इस टेक्स्ट में क्या होगा. ओके, so before students read any text, teachers can direct their attention to how a text is organized, teach unfamiliar vocabulary or other concepts, search for the main idea, and provide students with a purpose for reading or listening. Okay, so the basic strategy or the activities that can be included as a pre-reading in pre-reading stages, that teacher can give some vocabulary items that are present in that particular text, और वो students के लिए unfamiliar है, तो उसकी vocabulary जब discussion होगी तो वो easily उस text को समझ सकेंगे, right? And talking about the text, you can discuss the main idea or the theme of the text, or some of the concepts that are present or explained in the text, or the purpose of that particular text. So these are the things that can be discussed in pre-reading stage. Then pre-reading encompasses all of the things that you do before you start reading to increase your capability to understand the material. Okay, so basically in pre-reading, students are supposed to think about that particular topic. ठीक है, it is before reading. अभी उन्होंने read नहीं किया है. ठीक है, तो जो कुछ भी रीडिंग से पहले एक्टिविटीज हो रही हैं, चाहे स्पीकिंग की है, राइटिंग की है, रीडिंग की है, all that will be included as in pre-reading stage. Okay, now there is another term related with pre-reading, that is previewing. As again the name suggests, pre means before viewing or before reading the text. So this is also a pre-reading skill by which the reader tries to gather as much information about the text as he or she can before reading it. This gathering of information helps the reader to have a general picture of the text. Okay, so previewing, जैसे हमने कल बात की थी, skimming. It's just like skimming, going through the text, collecting the overall information of that particular text before you actually start reading that text. Okay, in this way you will get a general or overall picture of the text. Now, to find out what you are going to read before you actually read, previewing a text mentally prepares reader to receive information from written material. ठीक है? So basically, this enables or it prepare the readers or the students to get the information. वो mentally prepare हो जाते हैं कि हाँ भाई अब हमें इस text में से क्या पढ़ना है, क्या समझना है. ठीक है? Now, when readers preview a text, or you can say when they are doing skimming, then these are the 4 important things that they do. They activate their prior knowledge, they set reading goals, they study important vocabulary, and they predict the information. Okay, so activate prior knowledge means whatever knowledge they have in their mind. For example, the text is related with COVID-19. Let's say COVID-19 है, ठीक है, तो अब आपको अगर ये लिखा हुआ नजर आएगा कि अच्छा इस टेक्स्ट में हमें ये पढ़ना है, तो आप ये सोचेंगे कि आपको ऑलरेडी उसके बारे में क्या पता है, कि वो एक तरह का वायरस है दैट इज स्प्रेडिंग थ्रू आउट द वर्ल्ड. राइट, जो प्रायर नॉलेज, जो ऑलरेडी नॉलेज आपके पास अवेलेबल है, ठीक है. Then the second thing is you set reading goals. What are your goals? Are you supposed to get more information related with that particular topic, or you are supposed to answer some questions as a reading comprehension questions, और what else is your goal? ठीक है, तो आपका मेन टारगेट क्या है, आप किस पर्पस के लिए पढ़ना चाह रहे हैं, व्हाट इज योर गोल, राइट. सेट दैट. जब आपके माइंड सेट होगा कि हाँ मुझे इस ये चीज़ पढ़ इस तरह से पढ़नी है और इसलिए पढ़नी है, तो खुद ब खुद ही आपका टारगेट वैसा हो जाएगा, ठीक है, आपकी आपका डायरेक्शन उस हिसाब से होगा. Then study important vocabulary, as I've just mentioned that discussing some important vocabulary in the beginning, especially the unfamiliar ones that are for students it's a new vocabulary. If that will be studied in the beginning in the preview section, then you can easily understand the text. Okay. And then predict information is related with your psyche. ठीक है, कि जब आप किसी भी टॉपिक को देखते हैं रीडिंग टेक्स्ट को, तो आप सोचते हैं कि इसके अंदर क्या होगा. अब जैसे आप कोई नॉवेल पढ़ने के लिए बैठते हैं, तो या कोई स्टोरी, तो आप उसके टाइटल देख के आप खुद पहले स्टोरी अज्यूम कर लेते हैं, आप प्रेडिक्ट करते हैं कि क्या इसमें होगा, और फिर जैसे जैसे आप पढ़ते जाते हैं, स्टार्ट कर लेते हैं रीडिंग, तो आपकी प्रोडिक्शन चेंज होती रहती है. आइदर वो फुलफिल हो रही होती है, वट एवर यू थॉट in your mind before reading, whatever you predicted in your mind before reading, or that will be rejected. Sorry. Okay. Then the next thing is, as I have mentioned in skimming as well, that in previewing, what can you do in to preview a text, what actually you are supposed to do when you want to preview a text, कि इस text में actually है क्या. First of all, read the title, read the heading and the subheadings, look at the visuals, scan for special terms or words, and skim the review questions. ठीक है, this is in relation to the reading comprehension text. ठीक है, when you are supposed to answer questions related with reading comprehension, तो उसमें you have to review the questions first as well. ठीक है, before reading the text you can review the questions so that you will get the target के now this is what am I supposed to find out in the text. ठीक है, उसके answers आपको find out करने होते हैं, तो you start scanning those terms. Okay, so this is how through these two things you can easily answer the questions, reading comprehension questions. Whereas if you want to get the overall idea of the text, you can go through the title, you can go through the headings and the subheadings, and you can look at the visuals that are available, if they are available with that text. Okay, now that was the first stage. Now the second stage is during reading. During reading means when you are reading you are supposed to answer some questions. अब ये होता है कि एक टेक्स्ट जब आप स्टूडेंट्स को पढ़ा रहे होते हैं, तो आपको टेक्स्ट को डिवाइड करना पड़ता है, ठीक है, ताकि स्टूडेंट्स की अच्छी अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो. जब रीडिंग स्ट्रैटेजी रीडिंग स्किल हम डेवलप करवाते हैं स्टूडेंट्स की, तो हम जो भी टेक्स्ट उनकी कॉम्प्रिहेंशन टेक्स्ट देते हैं, तो उसको डिवाइड कर लेते हैं. प्री रीडिंग के लिए कुछ एक्टिविटीज बनाते हैं, फिर ड्यूरिंग रीडिंग के लिए जो टेक्स्ट है, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल एक पेज का टेक्स्ट है, उसके 3 पैराग्राफ हैं, तो आप उस 3 पैराग्राफ को 3 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड कर लेंगे और फिर उनसे रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस बना लेंगे. ठीक है, तो एक एक पैराग्राफ पढ़ा स्टूडेंट्स ने, वो उन क्वेश्चंस का आंसर करेंगे, फिर दूसरा पैराग्राफ पढ़ा उसको आंसर करेंगे, और तीसरा पैराग्राफ पढ़ के फिर उसके क्वेश्चंस को आंसर करेंगे. तो दिस इज एक्चुअली नोन एज द ड्यूरिंग रीडिंग. ठीक है, means while they are reading or during they are reading they are supposed to answer those questions, and for that there are different strategies that have to be focused on. Okay, for the students and for the teachers both. टीचर्स की स्ट्रैटेजीज क्या होंगी कि किस तरह से ज़्यादा स्टूडेंट्स को समझ में आ जाए ये टेक्स्ट, और स्टूडेंट की ये स्ट्रैटेजी होगी हाउ टू गेट द मोर एंड मोर अंडरस्टैंडिंग और बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ दैट टेक्स्ट. ओके, so the first thing is the question that will come in your mind is what should I do while I read or during reading. Okay, so what are you supposed to do if you are a reader, if you are a student, what should you do while you are reading? So for that there are 5 important components. Okay, and these are also called the strategies, reading strategies routine. These are clarify, revise prediction, ask and answer questions, mental imagery, and paraphrase. So these are the 5 types or the strategies that can be used during reading or while reading stage. ठीक है, स्टेज है while reading या during reading, और उसमें ये strategies हैं clarify, revise prediction, ask and answer question, mental imagery and paraphrase. Okay. Okay. Now, number one, the first strategy was clarify. ठीक है. So how can I remember these strategies? So सबसे पहली बात तो ये कि if I go back to this slide, these 5 strategies, how will you remember these 5 strategies? Clarify, take the C, R, A, M, and P. That will turn out to be cramp. Okay. So in order to remember these strategies, you can remember this word cram. It actually means to clarify, revise prediction, ask and answer question, mental imagery visualization, and paraphrasing. Okay. So in this way, you can easily understand the text and you can answer the comprehension questions. Let's talk about the first strategy, that is clarify. When you clarify during reading, you stop and figure out things that you do not understand. तो क्लेरिफाई का मतलब क्या होता है कि आप चाह रहे होते हैं कि जो चीज़ आपको समझ में नहीं आई है उसको अच्छी तरह से समझ लें ताकि आगे मजीद कोई कंफ्यूजन ना हो. ओके, सो फॉर दिस द स्ट्रैटेजी दैट यू यूज इज दैट यू स्टॉप and you try to figure out the things which you do not understand so that you will get a clear idea and then you can move on. If it is a difficult vocabulary, then you will try to find out the meaning of that particular word. Okay, so you may not understand a word pronunciation or word meaning. You may not understand the meaning of a sentence or a paragraph. Okay, so this is possible. Being a human being, there might be some difficult vocabulary. You might not know the meaning of that particular word or sentence or paragraph. So you will try to clarify that. If you won't clarify that, then obviously you won't be able to understand the rest of the text. So you may have a question about the story, such as why would a character do that, or what does that mean for the story. ठीक है, ये भी हो सकता है कि स्टार्टिंग में आपको कोई ऐसी सिचुएशन या ऐसी कुछ इवेंट मेंशन हुआ हुआ है जो आप ये सोचने पे मजबूर हो रहे हैं कि ये आगे क्या करेगा करेक्टर और ऐसा क्यों किया है. राइट, until unless you don't get this question in your mind, you won't be able to find out the answer. ओके, तो इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर फाइंड आउट करने के लिए आपको अपने माइंड को क्लियरिफाई करना चाहिए. तो जैसे जैसे आप पढ़ेंगे तो थिंग्स विल बिकम मोर क्लियर. Now, second strategy is revise prediction. Why revise prediction? Why? Because प्री-रीडिंग में भी आपने प्रिडिक्ट किया था, प्रिडिक्ट इंफॉर्मेशन. ठीक है, वहां पे आप ओवरऑल टाइटल को देख के या हेडिंग्स को देख के आप प्रिडिक्ट करते हैं कि व्हाट इज देयर इन द टेक्स्ट. Okay, whereas in revised prediction, now because you are studying the text, you are reading the text, so you have to revise that prediction. So making prediction before you read any text as well as making new predictions and revising previous ones help you understand the text better. Okay, सो व्हेन यू विल रिवाइज दैट प्रेडिक्शन, ये नहीं कि बस स्टार्टिंग में आपने प्रेडिक्ट किया टेक्स्ट का और फिर उसके बाद छोड़ दिया. यू विल, व्हाइल यू आर रीडिंग, यू विल कीप ऑन रिवाइजिंग दैट प्रेडिक्शन, either accepting whatever you have already decided or thought about कि आपका जो आपने सोचा था वही सब कुछ है टेक्स्ट में या नहीं है. अगर नहीं है तो then you will revise that prediction. You will again think about something else कि what else is going to happen. ठीक है, कि अच्छा इसका मतलब है मेरा ये वाला आइडिया गलत था तो अब इसका मतलब है आगे ये होगा. आपका ऑटोमेटिकली आपके माइंड में ये सब आ रही होती हैं चीजें. Right, so this strategy is basically revised prediction, and if this is not happening, it means you won't be able to understand that text. Okay, so this is an important strategy. You can use clues from the story to help you make an educated guess as to what might happen as you continue reading. During reading, you may find out that your predictions are correct or incorrect. Keeping a clear focus of your original prediction in your mind and revising your prediction as you read helps you monitor your comprehension and understanding as you read. Okay, so it will help you in monitoring your comprehension whether you are able to understand that text or not. If not, then obviously you will go back to the beginning and then you will again start reading the text and clarifying your concepts. Okay, So this will help you when you are predicting the text. It will help you in monitoring your comprehension and understanding. Make a conscious decision to make check एंड रिवाइज प्रोडक्शन थ्रू आउट द रीडिंग प्रोसेस. ठीक है, तो वो जो मैंने आपको बताया था कि तीन आपने पैराग्राफ को तीन पार्ट्स में डिवाइड किया है, तो वो हर पार्ट के लिए आपको ये प्रोडिक्शंस अपने माइंड में रखनी होती हैं और डिसीजन लेना होता है कि मैं आगे फर्दर पढ़ूं या वापस पीछे वाले को रिवाइज करूं. The third strategy is ask and answer question. Asking and answering questions throughout a story is another way to monitor your comprehension and get as much from the text as you can. You can ask questions to understand the story better and clear up your confusion as you read for clarification purpose. Now here asking and answering question का मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप टीचर से पूछना शुरू कर देंगे या किसी और से पूछेंगे. It is with your own self. When you will ask question from your own self, then you will try to find out the answer of that question, and for finding out the answer you will try to understand the text and you will be more involved in the text, so you will get a better understanding of the text. You can ask questions to aid in comprehension, such as why would the character do that. Then you can find the answer to your question as you read. When you have asked the question in the beginning with yourself, then only you will try to find out the answer. So there are also questions that are asked in this specific fashion or for a specific purpose as QAR method. I'm going to discuss this QAR method in the next slide. Okay. So if you know what type of question it is, you can figure out the answer much more easily, which helps you comprehend the text better and more knowledgeable. Okay. Now let's talk about the QAR method. QAR method का मतलब क्या है? Question and answer relationship. When you ask the question, then you will try to find out the answer of it. Okay, so you will use the QAR method with the during reading strategy of ask and answer questions. Okay, this method will help you realize that the answers you seek is related to the type of the question that is asked, and there is a definite relationship between questions and answers. Okay, so it means you should ask questions from yourself and you will try to find out the answer of that. The fourth strategy is the mental imagery or visualization. Now visualization means giving an actual picture in your head, as I have discussed yesterday as well, and in this when we were talking about skimming and scanning, that a picture will appear in your mind as you will go through the text. A picture will appear in your mind. That is visualization or mental imagery. Okay, this strategy is proven to help people comprehend a text better. If this visualization is not taking place, it means it is difficult to understand the text. Okay, so it can put you inside a story and help you see what is going on. When you will start visualizing the text in your mind, then you will feel as if you are in this story and you can easily understand and predict the things. Okay, so with mental imagery you can also explain in writing what you see in a text. Even if you do not always draw what you see on a piece of paper, just being aware that you can see the story as you read, it is helpful comprehension strategy. So it's not necessary that you have to draw the picture. I have drawn pictures over here just in order to show you the overall. If for example the text is related with dolphin, right? And first passage में कुछ इस तरह का डिस्कशन हुआ है कि two dolphins या ये कि dolphins can come above the sea or the water, इस तरह का कुछ डिस्कशन है, और they move in groups or pairs, right? इस तरह का डिस्कशन है अगर पैसेज 1 में, तो this is the image that will come in your mind. Okay, for passage 2, the dolphins live in the water and they are very calm and quiet and very you can say friendly, human friendly. Is tarah ka passages, or this is the image that will come in your mind. So it's not always necessary that you have to draw the picture on a piece of paper. If the image is coming in your mind, then it means it's a proof that you are understanding the text in a better way. Okay, so this was the fourth strategy of during reading. Now, the fifth strategy of during reading is paraphrase. The word paraphrase in Webster Dictionary means a rewording of the meaning of something spoken or written. When you paraphrase something in a text, you tell what the text said in your own word. Okay, so paraphrasing is basically when you get the meaning of the text and you are able to tell that in your own words. Okay, like for example, in comprehension questions, you are supposed to answer in your own language, so in your own words. So until and unless you are not able to comprehend the text or understand the text, you won't be able to write it down well. Okay, so paraphrasing may be similar to summarizing, but it is not the same thing. समराइजिंग इज डिफरेंट, पैराफ्रेजिंग इज डिफरेंट. पैराफ्रेजिंग होती है वर्ड बाय वर्ड, समराइजिंग होती है ओवरऑल टेक्स्ट का वन थर्ड. ओके, giving the overall information. So with summarizing, you only tell the main idea and the important information, whereas in paraphrasing is more detailed than summarizing and often lengthier. You must put the entire text in your own words, not just the important points. Okay, so paraphrasing में आपको हर बात, अगर एक एक बात आपको डिटेल में मेंशन करनी होती है इन योर ओन वर्ड. ठीक है, सो इफ यू आर पैराफ्रेजिंग, it's not necessary that you have to write it down. You can paraphrase in your mind as well in order to get a better understanding of the text. Okay, so these were the 5 strategies of during reading or while reading stage. Okay, the next stage is post reading. Okay, post reading stage is basically reading after the text. Okay, now for post reading stage, I have divided it into different types of text. Narrative text, descriptive text की हम बात करेंगे कि अगर narrative text है तो post reading strategy क्या होगी, और descriptive text है तो क्या होगी. ठीक है, so narrative text tells a story, either a true story or a fictional story. So there are a number of strategies that will be helpful, that will help students understand narrative text. अगर narrative text है post reading के लिए, हम story maps बनवा सकते हैं, हम setting, character, plot, themes पर discussion करवा सकते हैं. ठीक है, या उनसे लिखवा सकते हैं. अब कैसे? Let me explain it. Teachers can have students diagram the story grammar of the text to raise their awareness of the elements the author uses to construct the story. So, story grammar includes setting, characters, plot, and theme. Setting means when and where the story takes place, which can change over the course of time. Story start कहीं हुई थी, फिर कहीं और move कर गए characters, and then so on. Right? So, what was the setting of the story? How many characters are involved? The people or the animal in the story includes the protagonist, main character, whose motivations and actions drive the story. Okay. Then the plot, the storyline, which typically includes one or more problems or conflict that the protagonist must address and ultimately resolve. Okay, so plot basically means the main storyline. Okay, or the problems or the solutions, the conflicts, whatever important thing is in the text. And then the last is the theme, the overriding lesson or the main idea that the author wants reader to glean from the story. It can be explicitly stated, as in Aesopian fables, or inferred by the readers. Okay, so theme is the basic or the main idea of the text. This is how you can ask the students to make the map. ठीक है, this is the story map. Setting, इस तरह से मैप बना देंगे. सेटिंग है, करेक्टर है. The students can find out the setting from the text and they can write it over here. They can mention the characters. This basically story map is of the story of Goldilocks and the three bears. आप लोगों ने स्टोरी सुनी होगी जो थ्री bears होते हैं, पापा bear, mama bear and baby bear, right? They went outside their house, and a girl came in their house, and she eat the bowl of porridge, and then she sit in the chair and in their beds as well, right? तो वो पूरी स्टोरी है. तो क्या प्रॉब्लम थी, वो प्रॉब्लम पूछ सकते हैं. while the bears were away, Goldilocks goes into the bear's house, and what were the important events? You can ask the students to note down all the important events. Then what was the outcome and the final theme, okay, or the main idea. So this is the story map which you can ask the students in the post reading stage to draw this story map. ठीक है, लेकिन ये सिर्फ narrative text के लिए हो सकता है, descriptive text के लिए नहीं. अब देखते हैं descriptive के लिए क्या हो सकता है. अच्छा, narrative के लिए ही retelling, prediction, answering comprehension questions is also possible. ठीक है, retelling means you can ask the students to retell that story in their own words, जो paraphrasing है. ठीक है. सो पोस्ट रीडिंग स्टेज पे भी आप रीटेलिंग करवा सकते हैं. ठीक है. दैट विल बी वर्बल वन, स्पीकिंग के सेंस में आ जाएगा. प्रोडिक्शन में क्या होगा कि टीचर्स कैन आस्क रीडर टू मेक अ प्रोडिक्शन अबाउट अ स्टोरी बेस्ड ऑन द टाइटल and other clues that are available such as illustration. You can even ask the ending of the story. Ending मत बताएं, ending पूछ लें, predict करवा लें. तो ये पोस्ट में आ सकता है, पोस्ट रीडिंग में, एक्टिविटी में और स्टेज में. देन द लास्ट इज आंसरिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन क्वेश्चन, जो हम स्टूडेंट लाइफ से मतलब क्लास 1 से ही आप लोग करते आ रहे होते हैं. ठीक है, कि कॉम्प्रिहेंशन क्वेश्चंस गिवन होते हैं, पूरा टेक्स्ट पढ़ के और फिर कॉम्प्रिहेंशन क्वेश्चंस आप उसमें मेंशन कर आंसर कर रहे होते हैं. ठीक है, तो वो कहलाता है पोस्ट रीडिंग एक्टिविटी. पोस्ट रीडिंग स्टेज में ये स्ट्रैटेजी या एक्टिविटी करवा सकते हैं. Now, let's talk about the expository text. Now, what is an expository text? The first question will come in your mind. This is the text that explains facts and concepts in order to inform, persuade, or explain. Okay, so the structure of expository text is that it is typically structured with visual clues such as headings and subheadings that provide clear cues as to the structure of the information. The first sentence in a paragraph is also typically a topic sentence that clearly states what the paragraph is about. Expository text also often uses one of the 5 common text structures as its organizing principles: cause and effect, problem and solution, compare and contrast, description and time order. ठीक है, तो ये वो 5 चीजें हैं जो फोकस होती हैं इसमें. ठीक है, एक्सपोजिटरी टेक्स्ट में करवा सकते हैं आप स्टूडेंट्स को पोस्ट रीडिंग स्टेज पे. These structures can help students recognize relationship between ideas and the overall intent of the text. Main idea या summarization भी हो सकती है. You can ask the students to write the summary. A summary briefly captures the main idea of the text and the key details that support the main idea. Students must understand the text in order to write a good summary that is more than a repetition of the text itself. Okay, so you can ask the students to summarize the text as well. Then there is another activity that can be done in post-reading stage, and especially for an expository text, that is known as KWL. Okay, this is basically a 3-step chart, and in this chart, before, during, and after, all these 3 are included: what I know, what I want to know, and what I learned. Okay, so before students read the text, they will write in this column about what they know about that text. अब अगर कोई टाइटल है स्टोन हाउस, सॉरी स्टोन हेंज, ठीक है, तो what they know about the text, already know whatever information they have, and then what they want to know. When they will ask questions, then obviously they will try to find out the answer of those questions. So after reading the text in the post reading stage, they have to fill this column, and they will have to write down what they have learned. Okay, so this is how this chart works. KWL ये भी post में भी करवा सकते हैं आप. And then there are some graphic organizations as well. Graphic organizations be possible, and this will also be helpful in understanding any particular text, especially an expository text. Okay, so graphic organizers provide visual representation of the concepts in expository text. Representing ideas in relationship graphically can help students understand and remember them. Like for example, tree diagram. ये ट्री डायग्राम है. ठीक है, कि टॉपिक, आपने टॉपिक लिखा और उससे रिलेटेड जो भी चीजें उसके अंदर आ रही हैं, तो दिस इज नोन एज द ट्री डायग्राम that represent categories and hierarchies. Okay, hierarchy means what are the things that are included under this particular heading. Then another is table that compares and contrasts data. If there is some comparison in the text, then you can ask the students to make this particular chart, compare और contrast वाला, कि क्या bronze का किस तरह क्या comparison है. ठीक है, what the insurance company pays and what you pay, ये compare. मतलब ये text जो है जिसका ये chart बना हुआ है वो कुछ metal से related है and insurance as well. Okay, So if the text is related with some kind of comparison, then you can ask the students to make the chart in the post-reading stage. Time-driven diagram that represent the order of event. Like for example, the life cycle of a frog. So this is the time-driven diagram. कि एक के बाद क्या हुआ, दूसरा क्या हुआ, फिर तीसरा क्या हुआ, किस तरह से टाइम बढ़ा है या क्या हो रहा है. ठीक है. Usually this will include the life cycles or something that is done in, I mean, with the passage of time. Okay, so you can ask the students to draw the time driven diagram as well. Then there is another very important thing, that is फ्लो चार्ट. ठीक है. फ्लो चार्ट क्या होता है कि वो एक ही डायरेक्शन में फ्लो में चल रहा होता है कि ये हुआ फिर ये है फिर ये है. इसमें कोई फर्दर डिविजन्स नहीं होती. उसमें फर्दर हो सकती है. दे आर समहाउ कनेक्टेड विद द सेम आइडिया. आप देख रहे हैं कि यू कैन सी दिस एरोज. ओके. सो बेसिकली दिस इज इन अ फ्लो. You can see this flow. Either it is going directly in case of no. In case of yes, then again this will happen. And then अगर इस तरह का कोई I mean text है जिसमें flow diagram, flow chart बन सकता है, then you can ask the students to make this particular chart. Now the difference between this flow chart and tree diagram is that tree diagram में आपको उसकी divisions देखनी होती हैं, उसमें divisions आ रही होती हैं. ठीक है. एक का आप देखें पार्ट है, ये एक फ्लो में नहीं जा रहा, इसमें फर्दर डिवाइड हुआ है. ये भी हो सकता है कि ये भी फर्दर डिवाइड हो रहा हो. ठीक है. सो इन अ ट्री डायग्राम डिविजन्स आर पॉसिबल, देयर इज इन फ्लो चार्ट देयर इज अ प्रॉपर फ्लो. एक ही डायरेक्शन में चीजें होती हैं. ओके. सो आई होप दिस इज क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू, and that's all for this lecture. Thank you.